Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 26th of April, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1. Inflation for the March quarter came in at 1.4% and 7% annually, according to figures released by the Australian Bureau of Statistics today. The numbers were below forecasts, and the quarterly figure was the lowest since the December quarter 2021. The trimmed mean rate, which takes out a bunch of volatile items and is the one the Reserve Bank cares about most, came in at 1.2% for the quarter and 6.6% for the year. Again, these were better numbers than expected. The local market was lower ahead of the inflation data, but then it climbed back up again when the prospect of no more rate hikes emerged. The S&P ASX 200 finished the day down just 5 points to 7,316 points. The worst performing sub-index was utilities and the best were energy and industrials. Not a huge amount of action among the large caps. Rio closed down more than 1%, while Brambles, Transurban and Woodside all outperformed. Story number 2. With the federal budget due in just 12 days' time, Treasurer Jim Chalmers says his challenge is to provide responsible cost of living relief without further driving up inflation. As Chalmers put it, he wants to land this budget. He said it will be about responsible cost of living relief, playing the foundations for the future growth in our economy, and making sure that the country is more resilient to global economic shocks. His comments came after some disquiet among Labor backbenchers this morning who want the job seeker rate to be increased. When asked about it, he said his job was to weigh up competing demands and do the responsible thing. Of course, this is a period where we're going to get all sorts of budget announcements and leaks. There was one today. The government plans to allow people to buy 2 months' worth of subsidised medicines on a single prescription rather than needing 2 separate prescriptions. It means about 6 million Australians will pay less for their medicines. That's according to the government anyway. Story number 3, there was quite a bit of corporate news around today. Online retailer Kogan.com announced a third quarter of positive earnings. It intends to undertake an on-market share buyback of up to 10% of its shares. Kogan.com's share price at one point today jumped more than 10%. One of the country's biggest lithium producers, Mineral Resources, has been hit by delays at its key Mount Marion project. That triggered a 10% slump in its share price. Sonic Healthcare has done a deal to buy Medical Laboratories Dusseldorf for around 300 million Aussie dollars. It's a 24/7 pathology operation in and around Dusseldorf in Germany. And meal delivery service Marley Spoon is set to be bought out by a German-listed company. That's according to media reports. That sent its faltering share price up 14%. Story number 4, Sydney will host the 2023 Quad Leaders meeting with the leaders of the US, Japan, India and Australia all set to attend. The meeting will be held at the Sydney Opera House, which Prime Minister Anthony Albanese called Australia's most recognisable building. The Prime Minister said the meeting with Joe Biden, Fumio Kishida and Narendra Modi was an opportunity to showcase Sydney and the Australian nation. And story number 5, Joe Biden will seek a second term in the White House in what could be a rematch with Donald Trump. If that's the case, the 2 contenders will have a combined age of 160 years. Trump still has to get his party's nomination, but Joe Biden will be the Democrat nominee. He posted a video to social media overnight saying now is not the time to be complacent, and that's why he is running for re-election. He does have opponents within the Democratic Party for the nomination, that is. One is Marianne Williamson, the self-help author, and the other is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., an environmental lawyer and scion of the Kennedy family, who has become prominent for his anti-vaccine views. Biden is still likely to face an uphill battle in the general election against a Republican opponent. The electorate is sharply divided, and Biden has battled persistently low approval ratings for much of his presidency. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 26th of April, 2023. Don't forget to follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.